New tonight at 6, background checks are something that most of us are familiar with. If you've ever applied for a job or a lease, you've likely had one run on you. Today, though, what could be found could all change. A bill is headed to Governor Scott, which would seal the criminal histories of people who are not convicted of the crimes. Ann Schindler is on your side digging into this story and why it's so important to you.
Well, here in the newsroom, we use background checks all the time. But Senate Bill 118 would erase millions of criminal records from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement database. And that means arrest records would be hidden not just from reporters, but from landlords, parents, even school systems.
State of Florida versus George Zimmerman.
Two of the most high-profile cases in recent history.
Just to count one.
Both would disappear from the state's criminal database under Senate Bill 118. A potential landlord would not learn that as a tenant, George Zimmerman was accused of killing unarmed teenager Trayvon Martin because he was acquitted.
We, the jury, find George Zimmerman not guilty.
A mom considering hiring Casey Anthony as a babysitter would not learn that she was charged with killing her 2-year-old daughter because she was found not guilty.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
I think this is as much a public records issue, a transparency issue, as it is a public safety issue.
Barbara Peterson with the First Amendment Foundation in Tallahassee says that the bill would do away with existing rules that prevent serious crimes from being sealed, violent crimes, crimes against the elderly, disabled, and children.
You could have a serial child molester, for example, who's been tried and acquitted 4 or 5 times, and there's no record of their charges or their trials on the FDLE website.
That concern prompted Attorney General Pam Bondi last week to say she was concerned about the purge of 2.7 million criminal records from the state's database. Bondi said she was especially concerned about sex offenders. Quote, "I think some of those cases are very important to be able to know about the past and the history. That does concern me," she said.
It's good.
Ann Fennell is a criminal defense attorney who represented Casey Anthony. She says high-profile cases like that distort the bill's good intentions to help those exonerated move on in life.
The Casey Anthonys of this world are so rare and so few and far between. I don't think that we should gut what is otherwise a really good bill.
The bill, as originally drafted, only expanded state rules allowing some records to be hidden. But when FDLE determined that those reviews would cost millions and require an additional 32 full-time staffers, the bill was amended. Now, those records will be sealed automatically.
Nobody reviews it. It just happens automatically and administratively, and there's the concern.
Peterson thinks the state should find a better way to balance second chances with public safety. But Fennell thinks protecting the future of those who may be wrongfully accused is a fair trade-off.
A lot of people get arrested for things that they don't do. Fundamental fairness should offer some avenue for that person to have that arrest wiped out.
I just a short while ago spoke to the bill's sponsor, Senator Greg Steube, and he said he didn't hear any of these concerns prior to the bill's unanimous passage through both chambers. But he said if any of these so-called hypotheticals turned out to be a problem, they can fix the matter in 8 months when the legislature reconvenes. Back to you.
And thanks for that look into that.